was reported earlier this week in the trades that apparently there were 2 different endings released into theaters for this movie, and after you see the movie, you're like, yeah, I can kind of see where else they would have gone with this, but without spoiling anything, I'm John Hayeck, and welcome to my movie thoughts. Unfriended Dark Webs. This is the sequel to 2014's Unfriended, a movie that I saw the trailer for and thought looked like a terrible gimmick. The entire movie takes place on a computer screen with this group of friends Skyping, and then a demon comes in and kills all of them, or kills most of them, or something like that. And then I saw Unfriended about this time last year, sometime last summer, it might have been 2 summers ago. Whenever I went up seeing Unfriended, I really enjoyed it. Like, it was pretty scary in some points. I think that the group dynamic worked really well. It felt like a movie that used technology actually to its advantage instead of as a gimmick. So going into Unfriended Dark Web, I hadn't seen many trailers or anything, and hearing that it dealt with more realistic stuff instead of just having a demon terrorize these kids, I was pretty excited. I thought it sounded like it was a pretty cool premise and everything. The reviews were kind of mixed. Coming out of festivals, it was pretty good, but then when casual audiences saw it, it sounded like it was okay. I think that this movie is actually quite well done, because as I described, this movie does opt for some more dark web kind of antics, I guess. This movie centers on a group of like 5 or 6 mid-20-somethings. They've all graduated from the same college. They're all kind of living their own lives now, and they're Skyping for a game night, which they do every so often. But then what happens is our main guy realizes that he's Skyping on this computer that he found in a lost and found somewhere, and that it has ties to the dark web. The dark web is a place where human trafficking occurs. You can do an assassination for hire, drug trafficking, huge scandal with the Silk Road and everything like that. The dark web is apparently the place where like all the bad stuff on the internet happens. You can order anything, you can do anything, and there's some bad people on the dark web. When they find out that this kid has this computer, he's immediately a target, and so are the people that are Skyping with him that find this stuff out as well. And as I said, this movie works pretty well. First of all, the group dynamic was good. I bought all these guys were friends. I thought that it was a pretty diverse and pretty realistic feeling group of friends. Like, not everybody talks the same way. Some characters are more annoying than others. Some characters are more likable than others. Some characters have more clicky dynamic than others. So good work on the writing for getting that right. I think the technology is used pretty well also. There haven't been like too many insane updates to like Mac computers since the first Unfriended came out, but I do think that like it uses the updates to its advantage. Like, oh, Facebook looks the way it looks in 2018. You see the kind of Apple icons kind of look the way they do in 2018. So props to the movie for staying relevant. It doesn't feel like it's going to date, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. Obviously, this movie is going to be dated eventually and centered on this 21st century kind of concept, but I do think that the theme of the movie overall feels like it is something that will stay universal. Where I felt like the first Unfriended was a movie about like, hey, don't go out and bully people. I feel like this is a movie where it's like, hey, be responsible with like what you're doing online, and, you know, keep an eye on your friends and make sure you guys are all like, you know, staying together through tough times and everything. So the theme might have been a little bit more generic than the first one, but I do think that it executes it pretty well in this movie. Also, I think that this movie succeeds in that it isn't trying to be as scary as the first one. This movie's kind of more a psychological thriller about the actual atrocities that are going on the internet that you might not even know. There's very few movies I've seen that have actually made me scared to be online, but this I would say is one of them. Not necessarily because, again, there might be a demon that's popping out or anything like that, but because it's something that I feel like could actually happen. It's something that you feel like you get mixed up in pretty easily, pretty just quickly, is a shame to say, but you do feel like this stuff's out there, and you feel like this movie makes you unsettled in that way. So the movie gave me a pretty solid reaction coming out of it. Thought the group dynamic was quite good. They introduced this one plot point about halfway through where I'm like, alright, you need to kind of draw this out for like 5 to 10 minutes, I understand that, or maybe it's even 15 minutes, so you gotta do that. It felt like it's a thing where it's like, oh, they introduce something and then they undo it like 10 to 15 minutes later, and I'm like, alright, they just included that so the runtime would be a little bit longer, because this is a short movie as is, but I did feel like that kind of sticks out a little bit. Also, at the end, I feel like the ending of this movie is actually quite good, but there's one loose end where I'm like, I don't know how they tie that up. It just felt like one of those things that was like gnawing at me on the way home. I'm like, alright, these all resolve in pretty tight bow-ish ways, but I do feel like this one isn't necessarily as tightly knitted. So I'll say this, guys, I really enjoyed Unfriended Dark Web after coming off a bunch of movies where I'm like, oh, it was fine, but it had issues like Skyscraper and Mamma Mia 2, which were both fine movies, but not great movies, and even other things that I've seen in the past few weeks as well, like Ant-Man and the Wasp, which was pretty good, but, you know, just kind of okay entertainment. Unfriended Dark Web's one of those movies that I saw, and I'm like, yep, this had a pretty big reaction on me. I thought it was pretty visceral. It's a movie that, if you're not a huge scary movie fan, I think you'll still enjoy, because it's more of a thrill than it is a horror movie. Let me know what you guys think of Unfriended Dark Web in the comment section down below. Definitely one of the better movies in theaters right now, at least for the next few weeks, when I think that we're going to have a lot bigger releases coming out. You guys can follow me on Twitter at John Hayeck, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and go over to mymoviethoughts.com for tons more posts. My links to all 3 of those are in the description down below. You guys can also like this video, comment on it, share it with some friends. I'm John Hayeck, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching.